Hello everyone. Welcome to this channel Jikook universe. In this video we will discuss something interesting and definitely a shame to miss. Come on, watch until the end. Behind the glittering stage, amidst the cheers of fans and the spotlights that constantly illuminate their every move, lurks a small space that only those truly in the know can enter. A space of silence, warmth, and longing. That space belongs to Jungkook and Jimin. Two figures who have walked side by side since their teenage years, grown up in the harsh world of entertainment, and now reunited in a simple yet heart-shattering moment. A video call. No one expected it. No one was truly prepared. When fans watching Jungkook's live broadcast saw his phone light up and the name, Jimin Hyung, clearly appear on the screen, the previously boisterous atmosphere suddenly fell silent. The screen, which had been filled with excited comments and cute emojis, suddenly fell silent. Everyone just stared, waiting. And when Jimin's face appeared on the screen, his gentle smile immediately made Jungkook's eyes sparkle. Not because of surprise, but because the longing he had been holding back slowly melted away just by seeing that face. Hyung, Jungkook said softly, almost like a whisper from the depths of his heart. His face changed. His usually enthusiastic voice sounded calmer, deeper. Across the screen, Jimin smiled, though it was clear that something was holding in his eyes. "Are you okay, Gakka?" he asked softly. It was such a simple sentence, but it felt like a hug after so many years apart. They began to talk, discussing light-hearted things like food, the excessively hot air, and strange noises outside the window. But between their conversations there was a pause. A long pause filled with no words, just stares. And in that silence, the thousands of army watching could sense one thing. Something was left unsaid. Jungkook stared intently at his phone screen, then softly asked, "Hyung, did you cry last night?" Jimin chuckled, but his eyes were slightly teary. "No," he replied, trying to sound light. But the laugh sounded hollow. The answer was too fragile. And Jungkook knew. He always knew. Because he was the only one who had ever been with Jimin when he cried silently in his dorm room, and only he knew how hard Jimin had tried to pretend to be strong. Then the silence returned. This time it was deeper. Jimin took a breath as if he wanted to say something, but he couldn't. He just looked down briefly, wiped his eyes, and smiled again. But the tears still fell. Jungkook couldn't hold back his emotions. He bit his lip, his eyes starting to mist. "If you're tired, Hyung, don't hold it in alone. Just tell me," he said softly. And in an instant, the atmosphere that had been merely touching turned into a heartbreaking one. There were no shouts, no music, just the sounds of hearts calling out to each other through the cold screen, yet filled with warmth. Jungkook, usually full of enthusiasm, suddenly became someone holding back tears. Jimin, who always appeared strong, now allowed himself to be vulnerable in front of the only person he had ever trusted. The video call became the most honest place they had ever shared amidst all the world's spotlight. Then Jimin said, "I heard you sing Still With You last night. I played it 3 times. Jungkook smiled slightly, though tears welled up in his eyes. That song wasn't just a song. It was an unwritten letter he wrote to those he loved, to the members and especially to Jimin. He composed the song in loneliness, with the sound of rain outside the window and the constant flood of memories. And now, knowing that Jimin was listening to it, memorizing every note, left Jungkook speechless. "Come back soon, Hyung," he finally said. A simple request, but one with immense emotional weight. Jimin nodded slowly, then replied, "Wait for me, okay?" That moment, for fans, was more than just an ordinary interaction. It was a slice of the souls of two people who had shared everything. From grueling dance practices, to silent cries in their dorm rooms, to bursts of laughter without reason, to the days when they cared for each other when the world felt too heavy. After the video call ended, Jungkook fell silent for a moment. He slowly put down his phone, stared blankly ahead, then took a deep breath. He looked down, wiped away his tears, and said softly, "I'll wait, Hyung." The clip spread like wildfire. Across various platforms, thousands of armies wept together. They wrote messages filled with love and emotion. Many said they'd never seen Jungkook so honest. Many also called that moment the moment when the BTS members felt like more than just colleagues. They were family. A bond stronger than blood, one that has stood the test of time, pressure, and separation. The fan recording went viral. Not because of sensationalism but because of its honesty. In a world filled with imagery and falsehood, moments like this are an oasis. A reminder that behind the beautiful screen, there are hearts that truly care for each other. Many wrote, if only they knew how much we love them. But what they might not realize is how deeply they care for each other. When Jimin said at the end of the call, "Gukka, don't change, okay?" and Jungkook replied, "I'm here. For you. Always," the world seemed to stop for a moment. There was no more stage. No more spotlights. Just two hearts connected in silence in a feeling that couldn't be explained logically. And when the screen went dark, fans knew this wasn't the end. It was just a pause. A silent pause, but one filled with hope. Because sooner or later they would return, together. And the world would welcome their embrace with tears more sincere than ever. Because BTS isn't just about music. They are home. And that home always awaits its occupant's return. Jungkook remained silent. The room around him looked ordinary. A phone lying on the side, the dim lights, and the constant buzz of his fan base in the comments section of his live broadcast. But inside, a storm had just passed. He had just spoken with someone who had become an important part of his life. Someone who had become more than just a Hyung, but also a friend, a guardian, and a silent companion. Jimin, who was currently serving his national service, hadn't appeared much in the media lately. In fact, many fans had missed him only through snapshots or simple posts from official accounts. But this time his voice and face were back. Not in edited or old archives. But for real. Direct from Jungkook's phone. And it was enough to rekindle feelings that had long been suppressed in many people's hearts. After the video call ended, Jungkook didn't immediately return to his cheerful state. He stared blankly at the camera, as if forgetting that he was being watched by millions of eyes around the world. Then he took a deep breath. A long deep breath. As if letting every burden in his chest release with the air. His eyes were still puffy, but he smiled a little. "He's fine," he said quietly, looking down. Then, uncontrollably, he added, "But I know he's holding it in." That sentence brought tears to the eyes of many who watched. Because only Jungkook could read Jimin so deeply. It was as if they were connected through an inexplicable psychic connection. They could read each other even through voices. Even through silence. One fan wrote in the comments, "We can see it in your eyes, Guk, that you want to hug him." And it was true. Even through a small screen in his hand, Jungkook's desire to hug Jimin felt so real. So deep. He even whispered, barely audible into the microphone, "If I could teleport right now, I would definitely come to you, Hyung." Not many celebrities can make fans feel that their relationship is anything but professional. But BTS and Jimin and Jungkook in particular have long transcended that. They've shown that behind the rigorous training, the big concerts, and the spotlight, there are hearts that always care for each other. Their relationship is not without its wounds. They'd fought, they'd had misunderstandings, they'd had silences. But through it all, their bond had grown stronger. Like metal forged repeatedly, their relationship had become something solid. Unbreakable by distance, time, or even loneliness. Jimin once said in an interview that Jungkook was someone he both worried about and was proud of. "He's young, but his heart is big," he said. And that night, during that video call, everything Jimin had said was true. Jungkook had become a support. He had become an anchor, trying to keep Jimin from drifting adrift in his own feelings. Many asked, why were they so emotional? Wasn't it just a quick call? But how could someone simplify a relationship that had been built over a decade into just a quick call? These were two people who had shared bread when hungry, shared a bed when cold, shared a hug when the world felt heavy. And now, when one was far away, not just physically but emotionally, the other was trying to strengthen them, even if only through a screen. Jungkook had ended his broadcast with a single sentence that moved thousands of people to tears that night. He said quietly, "I know you're watching this, Hyung, so I just want to say I'm proud of you, and I miss you. Come back when you're ready. I'll still be here." Those words felt like a promise. Not just to Jimin, but to the entire army who awaited the day when BTS could be together again on stage. The day when their hugs wouldn't be through a screen but in real life. The day when their laughter would be heard together again. The day when everything that now felt so far away could be close again. And on that silent night when Jungkook's broadcast finally ended, many fans remained awake. There was no music, no stage performance, but their hearts were full. Full of emotion, full of memories, and full of hope. Some of them wrote on Twitter, "I want Jimin to know that we are all here, waiting, with Jungkook." Others added, "If love and brotherhood could be visualized, this video call would be it." Still others simply wrote one word, Jikook. And that was enough. Because behind that word, thousands of stories are hidden that not everyone knows. BTS may be going through different periods in their lives. Some are enlisting in the military. Others are trying to fill their time with solo activities. But one thing remains constant, their love for each other. And that night, that love radiated so powerfully. No script. No professional cameras. Just through a small screen. And two hearts that remain connected despite the distance that separates them. They may not have embraced each other that night. But their words became an embrace. Their tears became a confession. And their silence becomes the most honest language of all. If anyone asks why ARMY loves BTS so much, perhaps those video calls are one of the answers. Because in their relationship we see a reflection of what so many people desire. A true friend, a loyal brother, and someone who will always be there, even when everyone else is gone. And when the screen goes out, one hope remains in the hearts of millions. That they will stay strong, continue to care for each other, and one day, sing on the same stage again, hands clasped together. Thank you for accompanying the sweet story of Jimin and Jungkook today. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss their next special moment. See you in the next video, Jikookers.